Well, good morning, everyone. Hopefully you haven't blown away from the cold front that's come in. This is Frances Berrones-Johnson, and we'll explain what she does and the amazing work she's done in just a little bit. But we were just talking about how this is not good for our hair. This cold front is not good for our hair.
No, it's not.
I mean, some people have it worse than others, obviously. I mean, it takes me 15 seconds to put this together.
Well, just wait 5 minutes. Maybe the
literally. In the
right?
time that we're here, I'm sure the sun will come out and it'll be a beautiful day. But this is Pickup Lines presented by Gamez Law Firm and Integrity Roofing and Siding, and we are once again inside the Lexus RZ 450e, courtesy of North Park Lexus of San Antonio and North Park Lexus at Dominion. And as the sign would indicate in the back today, we were talking about Triumph Public Schools, and this is the Superintendent and CEO, Frances Berrones-Johnson. It is great to have you in the car and to talk to you today.
Well, it's great to see you again, Ernie. It's always a pleasure.
We connected late in the year last year and talked about the possibility of you coming on and kind of what you did, and now here we are.
I know, right?
Late February.
Before you knew it, it's here, and so...
It seemed like forever ago, a lifetime ago, but here we are late February talking about some exciting things that are happening. We're literally parked right now outside. I know you probably see a car behind us in a building here or there. We're parked at what is about to be, or is the new campus for the San Antonio campus that you are currently trying to enroll kids for.
Yes, that's correct.
So that's got to be exciting.
It's very exciting. I mean, I don't even have the words for it. But yes, the campus here, 735 Fredericksburg Road. We're right next to St. Anne's Catholic Church. And our corporate offices are also right next door on 731 Fredericksburg.
All right, so let's start with explaining Triumph to everybody who maybe they've seen a sign or they've seen something online, but they're not familiar with your setup and what Triumph Public Schools is all about. So how would you explain it to our viewers out there?
Well, it is a high school only, public high school. There's no tuition, no fees associated with enrollment.
Yeah.
We do cater to a specific population, primarily students that may have dropped out of high school and are ready to come back, really want the opportunity to graduate. And so we really, and I say this a lot, we meet the student where they're at.
Yeah.
And we help bring them up from there.
So you guys are a charter school.
Yes.
And I've been learning a lot about charter schools in recent months, especially just doing this show. And so help me out here, because the setup, from what I've read, is a little different. You have the campus in San Antonio, but Triumph you have campuses, I believe, 11 all over the state.
Yes, we are located in different regions. We have 2 campuses in Laredo. We have 4 campuses in the Rio Grande Valley. That's Mercedes, McAllen, San Benito, and Brownsville. We also have a campus in Lubbock and 2 campuses in El Paso. And we're really excited to simultaneously, we'll be opening up the campus August 2024 here in San Antonio, but we will also be opening up a campus in Abilene.
Very cool. So you've got your hands full right now. And we'll talk more about enrollment, because they are actively enrolling, as she said, for fall of this year. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But so I was going to ask you, you are the superintendent for all of the campuses?
Yes, I am. It's actually 4 separate charters,
okay.
So 4 mini districts, you could say.
Right.
And yes, they have 1 superintendent, 1 governing board, 1 CFO, 1 HR director. So we have to do it all.
The reason I ask that is because when I think of superintendent, obviously, you take a district here in San Antonio, Northside, SAISD, whatever, Edgewood. They have 1 superintendent. Their campuses are usually geographically pretty close, and
yes,
you're a different situation.
Very different. I know there's a lot of travel involved.
Okay.
Our board really likes to see us interacting with the campuses, making sure that we are establishing really community-based relationships. So
right.
It is demanding, but I think through the whole process I've learned a lot. It's amazing just to kind of, travel into the different cities and see how our programs have evolved there. So. And
Triumph is not new by any means. I mean, it's been around since, what, 1990?
1999, actually.
99,
That's
the
when
90s, yeah.
Four campuses opened at the same time, January 1999.
And you've been on board essentially since day one, right?
Well, I came on board 2001, so not too long from there. But our founding superintendent actually started the 4 campuses, and like I said, they all opened at exactly the same time, the same day. So it was a pretty big accomplishment to start 4 separate charters, 4 different cities, all open at the same time, and with the central office being in San Antonio, doing it all from here.
You seem remarkably calm and composed for somebody. I just think of the logistics, traveling, the real estate you have to cover, and dealing with everything a superintendent must deal with. It seems to me like that would be a lot.
It is. I mean, I can't deny it. It's the truth. My kids learned to be very independent because of that. Because Mom had to travel to go visit campuses.
You're talking about your own kids.
Even
your own children.
Kids, yeah. But I think it taught them a lot. It taught me a lot as a parent and as a professional how to have a good balance, and still be able to accomplish a lot with the job at hand, but not forgetting about,
Oh, yeah, by the way, you have to be a mom, too, and on top of all of that and everything. Goodness gracious. Yeah, of course. So did you grow up in the Valley? Or where did you grow up?
I grew up in Laredo.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Laredo, Texas. So.
Okay. We were just talking about how I was there not too long ago for the Washington birthday celebration, and people that I've talked to still cannot believe Laredo, Texas, of all places on earth, has the largest but like by far the largest George and Martha Washington celebration. I think, is it still going on, by the way? Because it's like 36 days. People think of Fiesta. It's like 36 days in Laredo, right?
It's a whole event. Yes, definitely. It's the way I was explained when I was young is that because we're right on the border, right? Nuevo Laredo. There was a need to make sure that people knew that we were on the U.S. side.
Right.
So the Washington celebration kind of became that defining event to make sure that, okay, yes, we're on this side of the border.
And it's been around for like 100+ years. It's been around forever.
Mm-hmm, forever.
And were you ever Martha Washington? I know that's a big deal to be Martha Washington.
No.
Okay. No, because seriously, like it's parades, golf tournaments, jalapeno eating contests, dances, cocktail receptions. I know we went off on a tangent there, but it's
that's Laredo.
Laredo.
That's
It's seriously.
Yes, I mean we still go back and participate.
Yeah, no, and I hope to go back at some point as well. But very good. So growing up, tell me about childhood and everything. Did you have somebody in education that inspired you, or what ultimately led you to follow the path of education and becoming ultimately a superintendent?
Well, I'd have to give credit to my mother.
Yeah.
My parents were actually born and raised in Mexico, and they became naturalized citizens in their early 20s. So my family, we are first generation Mexican American. I am number 6 of 8 siblings.
Big family.
Yes, big family. And 5 of us actually graduated from different universities. But it was all because of my mom. She really instilled in us the importance of education. And, my dad, of course, supported her in that.
Right.
But she really, really supported us in that. And, she always had a saying that, in life, puedes perder todo.
You can lose everything.
Todo lo material, todo el dinero, pero la educación nunca te la pueden quitar.
I've said that before, and my late mother, God bless her, has cracking a smile right now. I have literally, she told me the same thing. Essentially, what you said was, you can have the cars. I've said you can have girlfriends and boyfriends and cars and money and clothes and watch whatever. All that comes and goes.
It does.
But the diploma, the piece of paper,
that little piece of paper,
nobody can take that. Oh my gosh.
So that was my mom, and I'm gonna start crying.
God bless her. No, Frances. Goodness gracious, I may have a Kleenex. That's crazy because my late mother was an educator. I've talked about her a lot, and she was an administrator and everything, and same kind of stuff, Frances. Now, did your mother get to go to college and complete all of that?
No, actually, well, I guess when she lived in Nuevo Laredo, she got the equivalent of what would be an associate's degree.
Yeah.
So she, to become an administrative assistant.
Okay.
But of course, back in the day, my parents are in their early 90s already.
They're still hanging around?
They're still there.
Oh, God bless them.
So that's why we go often to visit. Yes.
And they're in Laredo?
Yes.
Oh, my. Well, maybe they can somehow see this. I don't know if your parents are active on Facebook.
I will make sure to.
Hopefully they'll see that how well you're doing over here. That just gave me chills hearing about that from you. Yeah, and your mother. God bless her.
Yes.
That is fantastic. Well, they must be thrilled at what you've been able to accomplish and what you're doing.
Well, I hope that they're proud.
You're not going to brag on yourself. I will say it. They have to be thrilled. I mean, that's just awesome, though.
They're proud. They're proud, and I know that in our culture, it's not like we hear that all the time.
Yeah.
But I know that seeing my parents now and how they they've been really supportive with all of us. We've like I said, I'm number 6 of 8.
Yeah.
5 of us were able to go to university, and
right.
3 out of the 5 actually we've got master's degrees, and I have a sister that's a doctor. So I think all that again attribute to my parents and them really emphasizing the importance of education and it being a great equalizer. So I think that's what kind of drove me to get my degree from the University of Texas at Austin in bilingual special education.
Right.
And so that's how I started my career in education. But that just, making sure that that was still, very much in my heart and in what I do. And I think it aligned perfectly with the mission here at Triumph.
That is so powerful. So, and it's a great segue to talking about Triumph now. So, again, if you're just joining us here, Frances Berrones-Johnson is the superintendent and CEO of Triumph Public Schools, which have campuses all over the state, but you're getting ready to open the one here in San Antonio. And you mentioned earlier that you guys, you cater to a certain student. I don't know if you can describe what a typical Triumph student would be like, but these, just to be frank and upfront, these are students who've had a rough time, maybe have been separated from high school for a while for whatever reason. So I would imagine you see and hear some terrible things, but also see some unbelievable stories of kids who turn it around.
Yes, every day. I mean, it's going to be great to have a campus next to us, but just hearing the stories of the different students that we have across the state of Texas. But like you said, our students have incredible stories. They face very many challenges. Our typical student, like you mentioned, perhaps, due to their current circumstances, had to drop out of high school.
Right.
And, they feel they have huge educational gaps. They feel that maybe there's nothing out there that can help them catch up and graduate with their peers. And so that's the opportunity we provide.
Right.
So we want to make sure that this community here in San Antonio understands how their students could benefit. Perhaps, again, maybe they have a young family, they're a young parent, teen parents, or they have to work and they had to leave school for a while, but they're ready to come back.
Right. And like you said, it could be circumstances that were completely out of their control. It's just, or some of it might be self-inflicted, but nonetheless, I mean, it's got to be heavy, though. I mean, it's got to be some of the things that you have to deal with. I mean, it's already, I tell this to I have 3 teenagers. It's tough being a teenager in 2024, but I mean, some of the things that you deal with, I mean, I can only imagine how heavy that must be sometimes.
Definitely. But, we and I'm going to say it again, we meet the student where they're at.
Right.
Not just academically, but if there's a need to kind of maybe align them with some outside agencies for additional support. Do they need housing? Do they need, food for their babies? How can we help support them, to fulfill that social emotional aspect of the education as a whole? Yeah,
I read a quote that I guess you really liked, or you talked about. It says, a leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go, but where they ought to be. And that's exactly what you're trying to do with these
our
kids.
Students. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Just because it is important that they understand that they need that education. They need that high school diploma. And even nowadays, they need more than just a high school diploma. But if we can get them to a level where they understand how important it is. Not just for them, but if they have young children of their own, that they want to set that example for their kids. and really then take them the next step. How are we going to prepare them for college, career, or military readiness? That we're taking it very much to heart and really making sure that we can align our programming so that kids can leave with a high school diploma intact, but also be prepared for what they want to see themselves in the future.
Yeah. Those life skills, yeah. I mean, we talk about life skills, just how important that is. I would think, too, and correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, these kids, it's a small classroom setting, I would think. Like, the teacher-student ratio is small. But they're amongst peers in that they know their classmate has been to hell and back. So there's not the judgment or maybe some of the other things that you might find, bullying or whatever it might be in a traditional school for whatever reason. But they know that everybody in that room has been through some tough stuff.
Through some challenges.
Yes,
I think there's a lot of mutual respect with the character education component that we also try to make sure that we instill in our students. It's part of our mission. They have to be respectful and responsible citizens, right? So that's part of our curriculum to make sure that they understand that. But they know, that their fellow classmates have other challenges, and they support each other. It's wonderful to see that that kids understand. Of course, they can relate, and they want to help each other.
That's
out.
A good point. They can relate. The relatability. So the website is I Will Triumph. I love the website, by the way. IWillTriumph.org. You see the logo and the signage back there, and this is what it looks like. And their new campus is coming here in the fall. You got the shirt. I love the swag. The branding is on point. By the way, whoever's in charge of that it's on point. IWillTriumph.org. So we're talking about you guys are enrolling right now.
Yes.
For the fall semester, so fall of this year of 2024. And I guess you would tell people to go to the website, or how do they get that process started?
Yes, that would probably be the best thing. Go to iwilltriumph.org. There is an admission application that they can complete. It's really simple. We just need some basic information, contact information, so that once it comes closer to the start of the school year, they can come in and actually physically register. So that admission application just kind of reserves a spot for them.
Okay.
Just to make sure that, again, that we're able to get them in quickly and start off the school year.
Yeah, and I think it's a pretty good location. I feel like it's kind of centrally located. We're here off of Fredericksburg near I-10, and you were telling me we're literally to our right over here in the shadows of, this is St. Anne's?
Yes.
Catholic Church?
St. Anne's Catholic
And
Church.
moments before we came on the air, Frances dropped a bomb on me that I can't believe I didn't know this, but I'll let you go ahead and tell me a fun fact about this church.
Yeah, so the property does belong to the Archdiocese here of San Antonio, so we had to communicate a lot with Father Ricardo, who is the head priest here at St. Anne's.
Yes.
And he's very proud to say that it's actually the church where Johnny Cash got married to his first wife.
The Man in Black. I did not know that.
I know, right? That was really interesting. A very interesting fact.
So Johnny Cash got married like 100 feet from where we are right now. Once upon a time, you said his first wife.
Yes, his first wife.
The late Johnny Cash. But it's a great little nugget, little truth bomb you dropped on me there right before.
I know. San Antonio
That's so cool.
So full of all these different little tidbits of information.
And I'm trying to seek them out one at a time and put them on this show. But that's a classic example of something, like I said, all these years in the news and the media. And I learn something new every day. I love it. All right. So are you almost a quarter century in here with Triumph? I mean, you're pushing 25 years, right?
Yes. Well, for me being in this organization, yes, 23 years.
Okay. I'm just wondering what keeps you going. Because we talked about earlier, like what you see a lot of things. It's heavy stuff. Education obviously has evolved in the last quarter century. With the advent of social media and technology, and you did the COVID pandemic and virtual learning and all that. Why do you keep doing what you do?
Because I believe in our program. I believe that we help students triumph. I mean, it's in the name.
Right, literally.
Literally in the name. I mean, I've made it my life's work to make sure that our programs were sustainable, that our programs had something incredible to offer. And that's how much I really believe in the program, that I've stuck around this long, just to make sure.
So some of these kids who started out in the late 90s or early 2000s are fully grown adults, and I'm sure not to put you on the spot, but there must be 1, 2, or 50 success stories, reunions. You have students that come back, or you find out about a student who came through Triumph and went on to do amazing things.
Well, when I visit Laredo, that's when it happens the most. I'll go to, the corner store or, to the mall.
Your hometown,
or
yeah.
Yes, my hometown. And because I was actually principal at the school there,
Right.
I do run into some former students. A lot of them great success stories.
Yeah.
They're in law enforcement or in the medical field or, even in education. But throughout the course of my years with Triumph, we've actually been able to employ some of the alumni.
Oh, that's awesome. It's like a full circle.
A full circle. At one point, we actually had a principal that was at the McAllen campus that was actually one of our students. She graduated from the Mercedes campus.
And you said she went on to become a principal?
One of our principals, yes.
That's fantastic.
She's gone on to, I believe it was for her PhD.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
So those are our success stories. It could happen, even though students are faced with many challenges, have left high school, you want to come back, this is the place for you.
But how many times have kids like that, again, maybe through no fault of their own, just been forgotten about? Or another educator might say, you know what, I don't have the time or the energy, like this is just not going to happen for this person. And you guys quite literally are here to say that's unacceptable.
No, it's unacceptable, definitely. I mean, the kiddos that maybe do not fit into that regular traditional system, where they really flourish with us, again, because we meet them where they're at.
I know you keep saying that, but it's a great tagline because that's well, it's
enough.
Literally and figuratively. I mean, you're meeting them. It could be the lowest point of their life, or in somewhere in between, and you quite literally, and you're not casting judgment. You're not saying nope, no, thank you. Like you're literally taking them on and
helping them succeed,
molding them
Triumph.
into. Oh my gosh!
Yes, that's
so
who we are.
Maybe this is a silly question. Why did it take so long to get a Triumph here in San Antonio?
Well, it's a new geographical boundary, so I know our board was a little hesitant at first, but once we really did our research and, I think to our board, the important thing is that we stay true to the mission of who we're going to serve, that it has to be a community-based school, that it has to be in a geographical area where we're serving underprivileged youth,
right?
Where we are serving perhaps students that are economically disadvantaged and that feel or can technically be categorized as at risk. Kiddos that could be at risk of dropping out if there weren't a program like ours.
Yeah, okay, okay. So again, for those of you who might have joined late, first of all, we have a few more minutes here with Frances Berrones-Johnson, the Superintendent and CEO of Triumph Public Schools, a high school level program, if you will, and they're actively enrolling right now for the fall of 2024. So you have time to make plans or go online, iwilltriumph.org if you'd like some more information or to follow that process. iwilltriumph.org. So before I forget, you brought something.
Yes.
I ask guests sometimes if they have a prop. I don't know what it is, or they have something related to their career or their work.
So this is from us here at Triumph to you, Ernie, because you are going to help us ignite the torch. Here in San Antonio. As you can see, the torch is a part of our logo. It is the torch of education, higher learning, and so we want to thank you for your support.
That's so sweet. It literally looks like a torch.
That's what we were trying to go for.
That is super sweet. Oh my gosh, I love. I keep talking about my late mother and everything, but I think about all the great educators that have come into my life and people who I've met through this show and everything. And as being part of the Ray Feo court, our Ray Feo, John McFadden says it all the time. It's one of our hashtags. Education is the great equalizer.
Yes.
And I think people don't often stop and think about that statement enough. Because it doesn't matter how rich or poor, what side of town, color, religion. I mean, it really is true. Education.
It's a great equalizer, yes. And I think our students really need to understand that. And that's what's going to help them triumph, right? It will, and so
Yeah.
we are here to help them.
Yeah.
To help them fulfill that dream.
How much longer do you want to keep doing this?
Oh, like the interview, or
I know. Well, I'm not going to keep you much longer because you got a school to run.
I've got,
Well, no, you have 11 schools to run, by the way, all over Texas. How much longer do you want to be a superintendent and do these kinds of things?
Well, I'm not. I mean, however.
No
long.
rush. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, it's.
I think as long as I have something new to offer, something good to offer.
Yeah.
I know, though, if it were soon, we have amazing people in this organization. That's one of the things that really makes Triumph stand out from other charter schools that might do something similar, is that we have very dedicated staff. But not just that they're dedicated to the job, but that they really believe in the program. They really want to see it grow. They want to make it successful. And you could tell, in their hearts that they really strive for that. So they're very blessed.
It's
very blessed.
in probably a thankless job sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I mean, again, I've always had appreciation for superintendents, but you might have topped them all. Just with nobody else that I know of has 11 campuses across the state of Texas. I mean, it's just the real estate you have to cover.
Yes, it's a challenge,
Yeah.
like I said, but we do it from the heart, and so
I love it. Well, I can't wait to see what happens here. Again, they're getting ready to open for fall 2024. So I guess your first graduating class technically won't be till.
Well, it could be potentially that May.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because
that's true.
We have high school 9 through 12, so they could potentially be a senior, might be missing a few credits.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because maybe a student or the parent of a student will see this, and that's a perfect example where they're just missing a few credits. And they're not going to be here for 4 years, but they can come back here and get those credits and get the diploma.
Yep. And potentially graduate, yes.
Oh my gosh, fantastic! All right, I'm so thrilled for you. Like I said, we met like 3 months ago. I feel like, and we finally got here today.
I know.
And I'm so thrilled to hear about what you're doing, and I quite literally will have the torch now. Carry the torch for Triumph.
Carry the torch.
And this will not be the last time that we talk about Triumph on this show, by the way. This is going to be part of a series of episodes we're going to do, highlighting what you do, and whether it's a student or a success story, or you're welcome to come back here and sit down again. We want to continue to quite literally carry the torch. iwilltriumph.org is the website. If you'd like to find out more, look into the enrollment for fall of this year. iwilltriumph.org. So great to see you.
Great to see you too.
Thank you. Congratulations on the success. But I guess my last question: do you have a mascot?
Not yet.
So if I were to say go,
I don't know. I'd say like Torchy. I don't know. The torch.
That's
go Triumph.
We'll figure it out. That way in the future when we can say go torches or whatever that is. We'll figure that out.
Torchy the torch.
Not that you have nothing else to do right now,
I know,
but
me.
I'm just thinking out loud here.
Mascot.
No, because I love the branding. Like I said, everything's on point. Congratulations. So great to see you. Thank you
so
for
much,
what you do. Frances Berrones-Johnson, just an amazing, another great example of educational leaders in San Antonio doing it the right way. Triumph Public High Schools, one more time, or public schools, excuse me, Triumph Public Schools, iwilltriumph.org. And this has been another episode of Pickup Lines presented by Gamez Law Firm and Integrity Roofing and Siding. We'll be back again, I think, on Friday with another episode right here. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again really soon. Take care.